Yesterday, I put out a video titled, I tested an RX 480 on 4 different CPUs. And in this video today, what I'm actually gonna be doing is showing you all the footage of the behind the scenes work that went into making that video. I don't know if there is an audience or if anybody on my channel would actually like to see this. So this is kind of a test video for me. But if you are interested, it's gonna basically walk you through how I have to put together the PCs by swapping out GPUs, by updating software, by determining what games are going to go on there. And it gives you a very informal video and view of what that day kind of looks like. I think personally it may be fascinating for you guys to see. It may just be rambling and you guys don't care at all. This is really just going to be a test video, and if it does horribly, I'll never do these again. But if you guys do happen to enjoy it, maybe I'll put them in every now and then just so you guys can kind of see, because I try to do a lot of like swapping and moving, and it's never just me like taking one PC and I'm reviewing that PC. I always try to like compare and contrast, and it gets all wild. So you'll see that in the video. I'll go ahead and swap it over to other me, so this me will stop rambling. All right, you guys, so this kind of video is gonna be a lot harder for me to film because it's really informal. But basically I'm just gonna take you through the process of like actually shooting a video and what it takes to do all of those things. So for this first video that I'm showing you guys, we're gonna be doing the RX 480, and I tested it on 4 different CPUs. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys kind of some of the things that we need to prepare to make that video. So one of the first things I have to consider is what game to play, because not all of the PCs have the same SSDs. One of them has a SATA SSD, some of them have an NVMe that doesn't have the right stuff on it. So I have to consider swapping it out. So like one of the first things I have to consider here, I'll take you guys in with me. So this first PC here, this first PC here has an NVMe. Let me see if I can zoom you guys in on this. This has a screw on it that I'm not familiar with, so I'm either gonna have to use this NVMe or see if I have a screwdriver that I can get that off, because I don't actually have anything installed on that. So that's gonna be one of the first things I face is, can I actually get some games on there that'll run? And then the other thing is for this one over here, so this is the 4590 underneath this Peerless Assassin. It's not in a case. I'm probably not gonna put it in a case because I had to take it out. But the big problem is the SATA SSD that goes to it is it in this one? I think it's in this one. Yep, it's right there. If you can see that little blue down there. So I have to figure out what games I have on that and make sure that it'll run those games. So now I'm determining like which games I'm gonna play, how I'm gonna get this thing out over here. Sorry, I know it's gonna be a little disorienting for you guys. So I've gotta go figure out if I've got a tool for that. But yeah, basically, so like I said, the first steps of this are going to be establishing what games I can get on all of those. So I'll walk you through them. So this one's gonna be the Ryzen 5 9600K underneath this CPU cooler. Over here, we have the Ryzen 5 9600X. You guys have seen that in tons of videos. This is the 4590. We do have the 7500F. I was considering testing that in this video, but I don't want to put too many miles on this because this is actually going to be the subscriber giveaway CPU, and I don't want to burn it out before people get a chance to use it. And then yesterday I did the Ryzen 5 5500. That's underneath that stock cooler there. So the first thing, like I said, we're going to do is we're going to work on getting games on all of these and make sure that it's going to be consistent. Because it's the RX 480, we'll probably end up doing, I don't even remember what we did for that video. Also, you guys can probably hear my daughter. I think we'll probably have to do, what did we do? I'm gonna have to go back and watch that to figure that out. But that's the first thing. So we have to go through and build anything that we need and make sure that it's all running and properly working. So I don't have the best tool set up. So we're just kind of going through here to see if perhaps there's some kind of, I don't know if it needs a wrench or if it needs like one of these, like, what are these called? Like L wrenches or L screwdrivers. I forget what they're called. But we have to find something that'll fit that socket for the NVMe. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, is trying to figure out if I do have anything that I can put in there and take that out, because if I can, then I can just pull the NVMe out of my my personal PC and not have to download games, because that would save me a lot of time. I guess we're just gonna take this up there to the office and figure out if that will work. All right, so we're gonna try a couple different things. It's also really important that I get this NVMe out, because this is the NVMe that I plan on using in the giveaway build. Okay, so that's clearly just a circle. It doesn't seem like these L wrenches, or again, whatever they're called, seem to actually fit in here or do anything. Can I? Very rarely just smooth sailing whenever I do these. But that's why I wanted to make these videos, just to give you guys a deeper look in behind the scenes. I genuinely don't know how to do this. I'm gonna have to Google and figure it out real quick. So this is kind of where the builds get really frustrating, is because like I legitimately don't understand or know how to remove that screw. So now I have to determine, do I keep spending more time trying to take it off, or do I just install the games on there and worry about that later? Which I guess I need to do it in about a week and a half anyway, because that's when we'll be building the subscriber giveaway PC. So I'm gonna try and figure that out really quick, maybe see if there's something that I'm missing, don't understand, but usually it's just a screw. It's not one of these weirdly shaped, it looks like it needs a wrench of some kind, and I don't have anything that small, so gonna have to figure that out. The internet recommended trying to do some pliers, so ideally what I'm gonna do is replace this once I get it off with an actual M.2 screw, or I'm gonna find out here that I wasn't supposed to do this at all. Oh, it's coming out. There we go. Okay, okay. Cool, that worked. Awesome. Very, very nice. I don't understand. So we got the NVMe out of there. I don't understand why this was used. I'm gonna check and see if a regular M.2 screw will work. So I have a bunch of stuff over here. I'm gonna try and put in just a regular one with a regular screwdriver. Hold on, guys. I have a tiny screwdriver. My daughter comes into my office all the time and steals all my stuff. So we got to find the little screwdriver somewhere in here. Little screwdriver, where are you? Where you at, buddy? Here it is, right there. All right, we got a little screwdriver now. I'll put you guys back over this. Zoom you in. Let's make sure that we can actually put an M.2 screw in there. That should be this tiny little one right here, because I am not putting that thing back in because I don't have the correct tools to get it in and out. So we will replace it with this. And then eventually, like I said, that NVMe, this NVMe here, this 1 terabyte, is going to go into the subscriber giveaway build. Also, guys, I don't have any special tools. I'm just a normal guy that works with junk that I had around the house. I have yet to purchase any tools. I hate these. I have yet to purchase any tools for this PC journey. And you're also going to get to see like how challenging it is to use regular stuff. Okay, that is working. Awesome. That saves me a lot of time then, because now I don't have to download games on this. So I do want to load up the SATA SSD really quick. I do want to load up the this one over here that has the SATA SSD drive on it. Simply for the fact that I need to figure out what games it already has on it, because that will probably determine some of the games that I choose going forward, because I don't want to spend a ton of time downloading stuff. So, okay, so we do have the Ryzen 5 5500 already set up on this case. So I might just take this SATA SSD and plug it in to this for now. Wow, that got really loose somehow. I don't know why. Actually, man, yeah, well, it might be easier for me to just actually put it on that PC, because that PC is already functional, but so is this one. No, we're gonna quickly set that one up. Hold on, guys. I'm just gonna pull this out of that tray and we're gonna put the 4590 with this instead. Well, you know what? No, because that doesn't have a power supply. I lied. We're gonna have to just leave it in here because this already has the power supply hooked up. That is really loose. So we're gonna go ahead and plug this SATA SSD in. Where is it on this motherboard? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, and then I need to find the, oh, I took the power supply out of this too, dang it. If I'm gonna go through all this effort, I might, if I'm gonna go through all this effort, I might as well just set up the right one and use this one over here. So I think that's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up this, the 4590 really quick, because I have to figure out what's on that SSD. So let me move all that over there and get adjusted and get this stuff out of the way. All right, I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna make this Frankenstein thing work. Again, I'm just showing you guys all of this because this is the process that I have to go through when I'm making these videos to get the final product out to you guys. And I thought maybe it would be fascinating for you to just see what it actually takes to make these videos work. So I have to grab a power supply for this. I have to plug in this SATA SSD. And again, all of this is just so that I can figure out what games I'm going to do. Because after this, I'm gonna have to make sure that then we're gonna have to troubleshoot the RX 480 every time we try to run something. So I have a power supply here. We're gonna Frankenstein to this. Let me scoot this over real quick, get some of this stuff out of the way. Make sure you guys are still in shot here. Here, I'll bring this down some for you. All right, so we're literally just gonna leave it all on this box. I'm not putting it in a build right now. What do we need? We need this 8-pin. That goes up here. All right, 8-pin in. We have the motherboard. I don't know why I'm going that way. Motherboard, the 24-pin right here. All right, that's in. This does not, I don't think this card has a built-in, I don't think this card or that CPU has a built-in graphics card, so we're just gonna go ahead and drop the 480 in here now. You guys might be thinking this is a terrible idea, but you kind of just do what you have to do. I don't love that it's in there like that, but we'll make it work. So now we drop the 8-pin in here to the graphics card. Oh gosh, yep, I should have thought of that one. Well, we're gonna have to get that out now because it did not like that. All right, so next time I need to remember, plug in the 8-pin power supply, then plug it into the PCIe so that we don't damage it. There we go, okay. I hate that it's hanging that loose. In fact, I might, is there something I can use to prop it up or keep it from going back that way? Can I like put this here? Can I? You guys are getting to see the whole process here, so I like. Yeah, can you guys see that engineering there? Did you get to see that? I literally propped this up against the corner of the box so it won't bend too much. Yeah, that's what you got to do whenever you're making these kinds of videos. All right, so let's go ahead and get the SATA SSD power supply plugged in. If you guys can see that over here. Which direction does this go? This way, right? I think so. All right. Now we have to, this is basically the second setup that I use to kind of test things. I know it's a disaster, but now we have to plug in the power supply. Also, I'm sorry for all the squeaking. That's just the ground that I have. We're gonna plug in all the cables, and I'm gonna cut through some of that, and then we'll test and see if it works, and then figure out which games we have. All right, so we have everything all plugged in. I just now realized I don't have a way to start this. I've never tried this before, so we're gonna try to jump start it. What do I do here? Oh. It did not love that. How do I turn it off? What am I hitting? I've literally never started a computer like that before, so interesting that it worked. We're obviously hitting something though. Let's try that again. Hey, I've never jump started a PC before, so let's see if we get a post. Everything came on. Wow, I've never tried that before, you guys. BIOS has been reset. Oh Lord. Load optimize. Oh no. Oh no. Does that reset your BIOS when you do that? Like I said, I have never once tried that before. Let me make sure you guys aren't directly in the light. I have never once tried that before, so I didn't know what to expect. But let me take it back over here. We did get a post. All right. Okay, cool. So now I have to go through here. We got it to post. That was a little scary, but really cool. I can't believe it. We actually got this monstrosity up with just the screwdriver. I completely forgot about a case. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what games we've got real quick, and then that will kind of help me determine what we're gonna be testing and if I can get anything else on here really fast. All right, you guys, so it turns out we already have Counter-Strike 2 on here, so I'm gonna let that finish updating. I do have BioShock 2 as well, so we're gonna have that. And then I think, I forget, is it JD? Someone that's on here a lot mentioned Fall Guys once. Oh, the correct name was Dion LR. I looked it up. I wanted to make sure I had that name correct because he's in here all the time and I appreciate all the comments that he leaves. So I am gonna download that because that won't take that long. So I guess those are the games that we're gonna be playing. We're gonna try Counter-Strike 2, BioShock 2, and then Fall Guys, just because none of those are extremely demanding games. And this 4590 here is not going to handle anything well, especially paired with an RX 480. So at some point I am actually going to host a local tournament where I do a rock, paper, scissors tournament and give away this PC right here. But I'm kind of trying to look for like a 4790, which I think I may have one, or a 4790K. To make it a little faster and just worthwhile. So for now, I have to sit here and wait for this to download. I will probably I think I have Fall Guys on this one. I'll have to go and verify. Otherwise, oh, we have we have this one over here. So that one also has an NVMe in it. I don't know if Fall Guys is on that one, so I don't know if I might just swap the NVMe or take it out, because this should have CS2, and I'll have to figure out if it has BioShock. So I'm gonna get all those games updated, and then we'll probably actually start shooting the video for, I tested the RX 480 with 4 different CPUs. Okay, so Counter-Strike, CS2, and Fall Guys finished installing on there. So I think instead of swapping the NVMe from my main PC over to this one, I'm probably just going to, the drive in here, hold on here, I'll switch this up. The drive in there is only 500 gigs. So I'm probably gonna have to delete some games, but Fall Guys and BioShock are not very big. So I think I'm gonna set that up now to put those games on there. And then from there, I think we'll be ready to start shooting. So the order that I'm gonna end up doing things in, I'm gonna start out with the oldest and slowest here at the 4590. We'll probably go to the 9600K. And then we will do the Ryzen 5 5500. And like I said, we'll end up going to the 9600X. Again, I am debating, doing the 7500F, but I genuinely don't want to put mileage on that before someone wins it. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this one up and install those games really quick. And then I think we're actually gonna be ready to start shooting the actual video. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update. So it's been probably like 15 minutes and we're stuck on this screen. So yeah, sometimes it's just the little things. So like after all of this, when we actually get the RX 480 installed into the PCs, I also then have to go through and uninstall any other graphics drivers. So like if I have NVIDIA or something on there, and then install the AMD. And because this is such an old CPU, it takes forever to do things. So like sometimes there's just a limitation to how quickly these things can go as well. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys kind of an update. All right, so we finally got that done. So we're gonna completely disassemble this. We're gonna bring the B450 and the Ryzen 5 5500 over here, throw the RX 480 in it, and then we're gonna download, well, we probably have to delete some games first, and then we're gonna download Fall Guys, and I think I need to put BioShock 2 on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble this, get that set up for the Ryzen 5 5500, and I'll keep you guys updated. All right, so now to get this next one set up, we do have to put this power supply that we had on the 4590 on it, because I don't have anything connected over here. We also have to put the graphics card in there. So we're gonna install this we're gonna install the RX 480 in here. I am going to actually screw it in though. Actually, you know what? I might just leave it laying down like this. You guys probably also can hear my child in the background. That is a part of everyday life. If she comes around, I will show a video of her. Let me zoom you guys out here so you can see that a little better. Yep, see? This is part of the process of every day. Can you say hi? No. No. Hi. Hi. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I might film you guys from like this side over here so you can see that a little better. So now I have to put the power supply stuff. He said hi to Daddy's camera. So we put the 24 pin in there. We have to plug in the 8 pin as well. Hi again, Mommy. You're saying hi again? Hi. We have to plug in the 8 pin up here in the top. We're gonna plug in an 8 pin. Oh, I have this underneath. We're gonna plug in an 8 pin here. Oh, careful, we're on a slant here. All right, cool. Now I just have to plug in all of the, What are you saying? Hi. Hi. Now we just have to plug in all the peripherals, load this thing up, and we should be able to, hold on, let me get you guys here a little further. We should be able to get everything installed. And I think from there, we'll actually be able to start shooting the real video. So yeah, again, just getting to kind of see behind the steps stuff, or behind the scenes stuff. Okay, everything should finally be installed. So now we're gonna have to reassemble this 4590 and put the RX 480 in there, because we're gonna do that first. And then again, like I said, we're gonna do the 9600K, Ryzen 5 5500, and then the 9600X. The other thing is I do have to set up the room. So this desk here, I raised this desk up. I'll have to move stuff to get it out of the way so I can start the recording. This light ends up coming over there. That light stays about in that spot. But yeah, I think that should get us to the point where we can actually start recording. And you guys I'm sure hear it. The little one running around being crazy. So let me go ahead and get everything set up, and then we can actually start recording the video that we're recording for this video, not the behind the scenes video that we're doing now. It's very confusing. All right, so now we have everything set up. So again, I like a light on this side. I like a light directly on me. And then I have this table that goes up and down, and that's what I use to record. I've got the PC set up in order that I'll discuss and review. So the 4590, 9600K, Ryzen 5 5500, and the 9600X. So essentially what I kind of do is I already have like a video idea. I never do a script, but I have like the video idea, the basic concept, and then I just get up here in front of this setup and kind of stumble through a couple times until I feel like I have a few good takes. And then that's when I'll have to finish reassembling the 4590. And we're actually going to use this 1080p monitor. You guys yell at me enough that sometimes I should do that. So especially for an RX 480, we're going to use the 1080p monitor. So I'm going to go ahead and get recording for the actual video it's so confusing to do it all, for the actual video of I tested the RX 480 with 4 CPUs, whatever I'm going to end up calling it, but that's probably something like that. You know what I just realized, guys? Testing 3 games on 4 computers is going to be way too much. So we are going to drop this down. I think we're going to do Counter-Strike and Fall Guys, because BioShock is probably not going to be as relevant. So I think we're going to do Counter-Strike and Fall Guys and nix the BioShock. All right, so we just filmed the intro, and while you guys weren't around, I had to go get a monster truck out of underneath the couch and change a poopy diaper. So you guys don't get to be a part of those things, but they are what happens in between scenes and stuff. So now we are going to clear all of this space up here off. I'm going to put together this thing. We're gonna have to make sure the software is set up for it. And then we're gonna move the 1080p monitor over there and start the first testing on the first PC. So let's go ahead and get all that set up and get the video rolling. So now you guys get to see like some of the more challenging parts of this that like don't make sense. So like I have to figure out how to raise this monitor, and I legitimately don't use this monitor ever. So I don't know how to make it go up because I don't think that that's gonna be a high quality shot. Probably gonna have to download the AMD driver. We're gonna install this software. We have 8 minutes that we're gonna sit and wait. And I want you guys to think about that. Like I have to uninstall the drivers that any of them had NVIDIA cards in and then reinstall AMD. So like just add up that time in your head of how long that could take. But like these are things that I end up running into sometimes where I installed this software and it keeps telling me that I have to download the new version and install it, but then it doesn't open. So I try to open it again and it says download and install. So it actually worked, even though we had like all those errors with the with it saying that the Adrenaline software couldn't be downloaded and it wasn't opening. We actually got it to work if you guys watched the video. Now I'm gonna go grab some lunch, but after that, we're gonna have to take the NVMe out of this PC right here. We're gonna have to put it into the 9600K build. That was the one we had to use the pliers to get out. So it's gonna end up going right there. And of course, when you do something like that, you never know if there's gonna be problems, if it's gonna force me to do some kind of update or change things. So who knows how long that's gonna last, but we're gonna get that set up. So we're gonna move this monstrosity out of the way after we eat some lunch and put the 9600K to the test and see if it actually is gonna run. Yeah, there was a 2080 in there, so we're gonna have to uninstall the NVIDIA graphics and install the AMD. All right, guys, so now we've removed the 4590. Lunch has been consumed. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 9600K over here. I have to pull the NVMe out of this computer over here, as I mentioned. If you guys have never tried to do that before, it is a pain in the butt. So if you guys have never tried to take out an NVMe SSD before, it is the worst experience in the world. And these little screws are so hard to get out and so easy to lose. It's not, well, I take that back. It's not hard to get it out. It's really hard to put it back in. All right. And they're very easy to lose once you take them out. Let me grab that really quick. Put this off to the side. Okay, so we're gonna put this NVMe into the 9600K. Let me move this one out of the way real quick. Oh my gosh, this thing is so heavy. Oh geez, okay. All right, so as I showed you guys before, we did replace this. Let's see if I can get it a better shot on that. There we go. We did replace this screw. It was that round thing that I had to use pliers to get out with. But this, I had an M.2 screw in my screw set that seemed to work okay. So when I do these types of things, again, we have to make sure that it actually works, because sometimes it's seamless when you take and put storage from one device into another. Hopefully my head's not in the way there. And other times it's a massive pain in the butt. So you push it down in there. Now this is the part that I was describing to you guys. It gets really hard because like there's this delicate balance of holding this down and then trying to get the screw in there. This one's not quite as bad as what you would normally face, because normally there's like a standoff screw. This one doesn't seem that, there's something weird about this one. Oh, sorry guys, I bumped you there. Hopefully this is okay and it's a good connection, because it's not going in very straight. Okay, that seems like it'll work. I probably was just recording my head, but we're gonna go ahead and plug this thing in and get it over to our setup really quick. You know, it's back over here. I'm gonna try and make sure that it works properly, and then we're gonna test it for the actual video, not this behind the scenes videos. All right, so now we've got it all set up. Moment of truth, does it power on? Cool, so it does power on, and we're gonna check and verify that it actually loads up my NVMe here. And we've got all our stuff, hopefully. Boot it up. Give me my screen. Again, these are all things that I have to go through every time I swap out a graphics card, every time I do a CPU. Reboot and select proper boot device. Huh. Okay. Is it not recognizing the M.2? I told you guys it's never easy. Let's see if we can get to the BIOS screen here. Can we get to the BIOS? Advanced mode. Boot. Boot option number 1. USB. Is it saying that it doesn't recognize this M.2? It doesn't recognize it. Huh. BR25 UDisk? That's not USB. Okay, we're gonna have to restart this and figure out what's wrong. I told you guys it's never an easy process. So I'm gonna have to evaluate this, figure out if maybe it's just not inserted all the way. So it's still not recognizing this drive at all. So I'm gonna pull it out of this slot. Oh Lord, give me that back. We're gonna pull it out of that slot. And there is an additional slot down there with the shield on it. We're gonna install it right there and see if we can make that work. And hopefully that's the case. Otherwise, I don't really know what to do here. So, all right, so now the NVMe slot has been placed. The NVMe has been switched to this other slot. So attempt number 2, is there something I missed? Okay, so now we have a post. Is it gonna give me insert boot media? What are you guys talking about? I don't need to insert boot media. There's literally a USB drive in there, or an SSD. What is connected to the USB? Oh, you know what it is? These older drives, sometimes you can't have anything plugged into them. Let's try that. I unplugged all that stuff. Let's see if it boots now. Sometimes with those older drives, you have to unplug everything because it won't let you do stuff with the USB. So we'll see if it recognizes the NVMe here. It's not recognizing this NVMe at all. Is it possible that it's locked? Isn't that a thing? I'm gonna have to research this and figure it out, guys. So I think it's most likely I'm needing to update the BIOS. So I just gave up because I don't have the time to do that right now. So we're gonna throw the old NVMe back in there. Hopefully it even starts with that, and Counter-Strike and Fall Guys are not that big, so I'm just gonna install that on here. I did look it up online, and it was saying that like it can be a common issue for this specific motherboard to struggle with accepting NVMEs because it has a problem where like if a SATA controller is plugged in, it will disable this one, and so on and so forth. So hopefully this will work. I'm just gonna go ahead and install CS2 and Fall Guys on this. Okay, it worked. So I guess we're just gonna use this drive for now. It's never easy, it's never not complicated, and I'm sure some of you guys are in the comments going, well, I know how to do that, it's very easy, it's this. You guys, I deal with like, I don't know, this is probably the 15th motherboard I've looked at in the last 2 months. I can't be an expert of all things, and I'm still learning this. There's a lot I have to learn and take in for pretty much every video to make it for you guys. So cool, so we did get this NVMe to work. We did get Counter-Strike 2 installed. We got Fall Guys installed. PCs and computer components and all that are just really finicky, and it's really hard to figure it all out. But let's go ahead and make the other video and actually test these things out on this PC with the 480. All right, guys, so we just finished up recording with the 9600K. It's interesting for Fall Guys because there's honestly not a lot to comment about on the game. It runs essentially the same on all of them. So that's maybe why it's going to be tough to like do these free types or like lower end use. But I guess what it is verifying is that for anybody that's on that type of equipment, that it will run it. So I guess opposed to how well does it run it, it's more of a question of like, does it run it? Is it playable? But yeah, so now we have to take the, the Ryzen 5 5500 down here, put the power supply in the RX 480, move this all out of the way, and then we'll just have the 5500 and this over here, the 9600X. I do have to put the M.2 back in and take the 9070 XT out of there. This is honestly about the time that I'm getting tired of making the video. I'm worn out. I'm a little more irritable. So it's like if you're at a regular job, your energy starts to dwindle down and you just don't care as much at the time. So that's about where I'm at now. So I'm gonna soldier through this and get this all done and get it uploaded today. That video, not this video. This video will come up the day after. But I'll get all that set up and then we'll get things updated. I'm just gonna share with you guys like some of the struggles that I go through with. So I'm just putting the RX 480 in here and the stupid mounting screw fell down in there. And this is not an uncommon occurrence for me. So usually I'll do it laying down, like I'll put this on its side. But at this point, like I said, I'm usually getting tired and burnt out. So I get lazier and I make a lot more mistakes towards the end of the video. So if you ever notice that shift in my videos, that's why. I'm tired. I just want to get the thing uploaded and be done. So just the struggle that I go through. I did think because I did a video on this yesterday with the Ryzen 5 5500. I had the 9070 XT in here last. I assumed that the software stayed whenever you swapped over the GPU because it's AMD to AMD, but maybe I'm now learning that it doesn't stay, or I still have to install it, or I'm gonna run into the same issue that I had with the 4590, where it kept telling me to update it or install it, but then when I would go to update it and install it, it just would shut off. So I don't know if it's just because this graphic, yeah, it did the same thing to me. So I'm gonna try to run AMD. It's probably gonna tell me to download and install. Come on. It's not even gonna do anything this time. AMD. Okay. It worked on the 4590, so I'm assuming it's going to work here. All right, we finished up with the 5500. I am now going to swap over everything on this 9600X build. So again, we have to put this M.2 back in to that slot there. We're going to take the 9070 XT out, put the 480 in. After that, I always close up every video with like an outro talking about my thoughts, how I feel. And again, I am usually burnt out by the time I've gotten like halfway through the video. Normally I'm done by, my goal is 2 or 2:30. Right now, I think it's like 2:30 and I probably still have another hour and a half, 2 hours of work just to get the first video up, not to even talk about this one that we're doing now. Like I'll have to work on that one tomorrow, but yeah, so usually I get burnt out, but there is a lot of excitement, like when I was just doing Fall Guys now, that there was actually an improvement over the Ryzen 5 5500 over the 9600K, and on Counter-Strike 2, very weirdly, and I thought this might happen yesterday when I did the 5500 with the 2080, 3080, 9070 XT, the 480 probably, I think, outperformed the 2080. So it's always just fascinating to be able to be blessed to get my hands on this tech and make these kinds of videos. Another struggle that we faced, I just managed to accidentally break off a fan blade on our RX 480, and I doubt it's gonna impact the performance much, but again, just these little things that you guys, add up over time and things that we accidentally do. So yeah, I mean, it's a 10-year-old card. I grabbed it in the wrong spot and put some pressure on it. Should be fine, so we'll just keep on going. So it does work with the fan blade messed up. The major problem is when it gets going, it will start to like kind of shake a little. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to replace the fan blade, if it's gonna be okay. Maybe if I put like this GPU bracket holder on here a little better, because I just left it where it was for the 9070 XT, it would probably keep it more positioned and like less. It didn't move. I just could feel like the table vibrating a little, so I guess we'll find out. But I'm gonna record the outro for the video that we're filming over there, and then at the end I have to do the thumbnail picture, so I'm gonna have to take a picture for that video, and then take a picture for this video as well, And then I will finally get to upload the footage to my PC and begin the editing process. All right, you guys, so we finally got all of the footage from today from my phone onto the PC over there. And I'll show you here between like the video for today and yesterday, all of it is gonna be a little over 2.5 hours. So obviously, you know, the whole video per video isn't gonna be 2.5 hours. It's gonna be 2 separate videos, but I have to cut down that time to roughly 20 to 30 minutes between each video. So that's what I'm gonna do here is, you know, edit those down, and then I'll show you the final process. Oh yeah, I do have the thumbnail. So I go through Canva, make it, put it together, and then, yeah, I'll show you guys the final steps as we get into it and close this video up. I do appreciate you guys watching this type of video if you have watched it. Okay, so I just now finished editing it. I literally slashed through like everything. Normally I would spend some more time like going through and maybe like doing cool shots, but like literally if I wasn't talking, I pretty much just edited it out. So we went from, obviously we're at like 2.5 hours down to 23 minutes. And that was for both videos, like 2.5 hours of footage total. So now I'm going to render this so that it'll be ready. Spoiler alert, I do use ChatGPT. I hate to break it to you guys. So this will help me with my description. I come up with like all the ideas and everything, but I funnel it in there. So I'll tell it like I use these 4 different CPUs, specifically what they are. I pair them with an RX 480. Here are some of the results. Here are the games that I played. And then it spits something out, and I'll usually refine it a couple times until I enjoy it. But yeah, so we have everything done. I just have to render this, upload it, and I'll show you the public button, and then we'll close out this video here. Also, it's a little after 5, and you guys are about to hear that I'm gonna get called down there and that out of my office and be told that it's time for dinner and time to get ready for the night. So give it just a second. There'll probably be a little one up here. What did I tell you guys? Look who it is. Can you say hi?
Daddy.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you
Daddy.
Chase?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there goes Chase, guys. All right, now it's about 7 o'clock at night. Everything is finally done. I just take like a 2-hour break to have dinner, enjoy time with my family. I'm gonna go back down there here in a second, but the video is ready to go. Checks complete, no issues found. So we are going to get ready to hit, hold on, let me show you here, public, and make it go live. Well, first of all, whenever I hit that, now it's gonna go out to you guys and you get a chance to watch it. Some of you guys are gonna enjoy it. A lot of you guys are gonna tell me what I should have done differently or how it should have gone in the process. But yeah, it's out there now. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this kind of video where it's much more informal and you're just getting to see like the real side of it. I genuinely have no clue if anybody's gonna enjoy this or they wanna see the behind the scenes. And if this doesn't do well, I probably won't do any more of them. But if you have enjoyed it, you know, continue to keep watching, supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And I'm just grateful for all the support I've had so far. Consider subscribing to the newsletter. You know, it does tell you the upcoming content on the channel. I am hosting a PC building class for beginners on March 27th. That's a Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll have both of those linked in the description below. And otherwise, yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.